took I took two big hits. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is Dark Times with Dark Man Steve. Oh. Holy shit. Oh man. Just trying to catch my breath here. Holy fucking shit. That's the good. Oh, that's a good Jew. Oh. Smoke 'em if you got 'em, you guys. Oh God. Alright, well, here we are. Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. It's a fucking Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Pat yourself on the back, you fucking dog. You fucking workhorse. Give yourself a slap on the ass. You've done well. You made it to fucking Monday. Hello? What's up? What's up, guys? You know I love you. Who's in here? Who's up in the chat? The Fat Pig, Airplane Willie. What's up, guys? Early bird gets the worm. Were you first? Yeah, you were first. Good evening, good evening. What's up, Airplane Willie? Famalam. How's it going, gentlemen? How's it going, future viewers that aren't seeing this live later? Yard Stream. Is that what I'm using? Yeah. Or StreamYard. They put a thing up saying you should say hi to the people that are watching the video later. And it really made me trip out for a minute. I was like, I have to say hi to people that aren't here at all, but will watch later. Okay. Got it. So yeah. Holy shit, I shouldn't have taken Oh, it's not coming up. Oh god. Holy shit, I gotta pack another bowl too. It was like the last hit, so it was all resiny. Got a lot of that resin flavor in there. Holy shit. So anyway, yeah, Friday. What's up, guys? It's Friday. We made it. Made it through a fucking crazy ass week. It's my mom's birthday today. She turned 77, I think. Yeah, I think that's right. 77. Holy shit, she's getting old. Not in like, I'm not being disrespectful, but I can't believe my little mama, my mommy is 77. It's hard to believe. Turning into an old fuck myself. But yeah, her health hasn't been the best. She's been really having, I won't go off on it too much now, but I don't want to start crying, but my mama, happy birthday, DMS mom, yes. She's DMM, Dark Match Mom. Yeah, she's getting up there in age, but she's been dealing with breathing problems for decades. She used to smoke cigarettes, but she actually has a breathing problem that you could probably argue it's partially due to the cigarettes, but she actually hurt her back while working as a nurse. They put her on some like a steroid and something else. And the combination of these drugs or whatever caused the tissue in her lungs to deteriorate and stuff, and so she's got asthma, emphysema. She's really not doing the best, but she's hanging in there. She's still kicking. She has her ups and downs though. Like luckily, because it's her birthday, luckily recently she's kind of been on a little bit of an uptick to where she's able to move around a little bit and not lose her breath. But I'm telling you, the poor thing, my poor mama, she's on multiple tanks. Most time you see people that use oxygen tanks, you haven't seen my mom with oxygen tanks. It's fucked up. And I didn't realize, at first how bad it actually was. But she she has to pretty much always be on at least 2 tanks of oxygen, running at like 8 or 9, like the top setting of liters per minute or whatever the fuck it is. She burns through fucking oxygen tanks, and she has oxygen compressor machines that just suck and concentrate the oxygen from the air. She's always on them bitches, and yeah, it's hard to see her be so. If she moves around, that's the thing. Even with the oxygen tanks, her oxygen level drops way low. If she moves around a lot, it drops way low, like into the 70s. No one's supposed to be not going to the hospital when they're in the 70s in terms of oxygen saturation or whatever. So anyway, it's fucked up, but it was her birthday. Got to eat lunch with her, and we had fucking empanadas and cheesecake, and I've already taken 2 shits since I've been home. I don't eat fucking cheesecake and empanadas deep fried with fucking glyphosate dough, So anyway, but here we are. What are we doing tonight? What did I fucking make for the thumbnail? I was high when I did it. DNC stuff? Oh yeah, here I got it here. Hasan Piker. Some of y'all might not give a fuck. It's okay. I just wanted to cover this. I haven't watched it yet. I want to watch. I don't know exactly. I saw Destiny watched some part of it, and I switched off of it. I went to Hasan's video and scrolled through it just to get a screen grab for the thumbnail. But yeah, I have not watched it. I don't know why he got kicked out. From what I did see of Destiny's clips, I think he hints at it being because Hasan was talking shit about Israel and Hamas and all of that shit. So we'll see. We'll get to this. I don't know if we'll see the part that actually led him to get kicked off. But anyway, we'll get to that. Then we'll also go through RFK dropping out of the fucking race. Now, I already played the clip of his running mate. Is it Shanahan? I think it's her last name. I don't have it pulled up here, but she was talking about it on some podcast, hinting that they would probably be dropping out of the race and backing Trump because they are, like myself, they are more worried about a Kamala Walz presidency than a fucking Trump Vance, So we'll see. There's some interesting snippets. I don't know if we'll watch the full thing of RFK because it's gonna be like it's the whole time. We're not gonna be able to understand him that well, and it's like 45 minutes long. And I don't know if I want to put all of you through that. You ready for 45 minutes of that? You guys want that? Please tell me in the chat. The few people are what you want. 45 minutes of RFK going, I don't think I can win, so I'm gonna back Donald Trump. Y'all aren't ready for that. I can tell. I can tell already. All right, let's go to it. Fucking Hasan. What is this motherfucker? This is, Hasan Piker used to be like, Vosh and Destiny's butt buddy or whatever. And then he got scared by Sam Hyde and went into hiding. That's kind of a joke, but kind of true. All right, let's get to it. Oh, I got a screen share. I have to be. What is this? Okay. Where's the full video? This is it. Okay.
I'm gonna go to the island for a few days. Do you guys want to come?
You never know.
I don't know how I feel about this movie. Blink twice. There's two movies I'm slightly interested in this, but this looks overproduced. I'm very much. I have a friend that got me like, not like I'm into them, but a friend of mine that I used to hang out with a lot showed me so many fucking indie films that you just have, once you've seen so many, of course there's some that are complete fucking trash, and it's almost a meme how bad they are, indie films. But once you've watched enough good ones, you realize how much Hollywood is absolutely just yanking your fucking wallet chain. It's just bullshit the way they overproduce, and it's fucked up. Like, how can you be so bad at making a fucking movie that isn't just like cringe?
When you're gonna be stuck in the middle of nowhere, like a terrifying situation, with no one to save you, no one to even hear you scream, and you need to fight for your life.
You know what's great though? Women, when they band together.
This looks like it might be okay. That what I wanted to see is Slingshot. I want to see that one, the space movie. Anyway. Okay. This was one of the screenshots I took. Like, I was like, should I use a thumbnail with him actually packing his shit? All right, let's go back to the beginning here. So he was I was talking about last night about who different people are. You can't hear me well? Damn, really? Are y'all having trouble hearing me? Give me 1 second. Let me see. Hello? Testing? Testing? You can hear me better now? Hello? I changed the fucking audio settings because you guys said when we were talking about last night. Okay, let me see what I have the settings at, because I just clicked a few things. We'll be right back to the show here. Okay. God, I'm gonna have to fuck around with this later. Okay. Let's see here. No, you're good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Airplane Willie. I appreciate you saying something. I'd hate for it to be shitty the whole time. All right. So anyway, I was talking about I didn't know who the fuck was actually streaming. I don't know who was any independent people or whatever streaming from the DNC. I was wondering about if there was some right wing people, like Chank was streaming from the RNC. Am I still loud and clear, Airplane Willie? Am I good? Didn't know who was streaming there or whatever, and I was talking about different people getting kicked out and stuff, and then it's funny, fucking Hasan got kicked out. He was so according to I think it was Destiny, I heard saying something that as the at the DNC, they had people, it was like hostages, family members, people who were taken hostage by Hamas, and their family members were speaking at the DNC. And I guess as that was happening, Hasan was talking shit about the situation in Israel, and probably got into some trouble. And they said he had to leave his booth here. Now it is funny. We don't know how much each I'm not even up here right now. We don't know how much it costs or what it's worth to be in one of these booths or whatever. Chris Cuomo was just talking the other night though that the balcony seats were like $500,000 or some shit. The balcony suites. So it's interesting. I mean, how the fuck is Hasan in one of these fucking balcony suites? How did he end up with one of these suites to fucking stream from? And did he actually get kicked out just because he was, he was basically saying something along the lines of not liking the I guess you could say the performance of this administration in terms of the situation in fucking Israel / Palestine? Or did he get fucking kicked out because they were like Hasan didn't have like enough viewers or some shit? I don't fucking know. We'll see what he says here. And again, we'll touch on some of the RFK shit after this. I'm not going to be on super late. That's why I started a little early. So yeah, let's get into it.
He looks terrified. It's fine. It's just like we're getting booted. We're getting booted from this space. We're fine. We're fine for now. In this, we're not fine for now. We're literally like we're permanently done here, bro. That's so whack. Fight back. What do you mean? I will get evicted forcibly at gunpoint. There's no fighting back. If they say, when someone says you gotta leave,
fight the Secret Service. Do it.
This area and like move to a different area. Do you know how many Secret Service and like federal agents are here? Like, there's no world where I just keep doing this. Are they giving you another place to go? I don't know. And what are we gonna do about our stuff? Why even let you in just to kick you around? Guys, come on. We're at the Democratic National Convention. There's a lot of things that are moving around, okay? There's a lot of moving parts at any given moment. They're not kicking me out of the convention.
Israel's kicking him out of this booth.
They're saying that they have to use this space.
It's apartheid. Israel's kicking Hasan out of this booth.
They wouldn't do this to CNN? Yeah, no shit, they wouldn't do this to CNN, dog. I'm not CNN. What do you mean? The fact that I have CNN level access is already insane. Be for real, okay? I don't even know how I got this level of accommodation to begin with.
It's the Nakba. You have to fight back, Hasan. Don't let them do this to you. This is your land up here in this booth.
Tell them your uncle Jank. Your uncle is Jank. Yeah, I'll tell them that. They gave him a worse space than me, so I don't know how that would work. Just kind of whack.
His uncle is Jank, by the way, guys. Did anyone not know that? Anyone new to this? Yes, it's very funny. Anyone not know his uncle is Chank? That's enough to give you victimhood status right there.
Because you told him you'd want to do it all day. Yeah, I know. I literally said, if I can't do.
To be honest, I have said, and I don't know if I've publicly said this, but like, I think I've said to friends and stuff talking about Hasan, just Destiny and Hasan. I worry about these two guys. I feel like I want to say they're fucking feds. I want to. And the beef between Hasan and Destiny, it does seem legitimate. But I don't know about this guy. One thing that always made me feel weird about, like maybe he's a fed, is how much he changes his facial hair and his hair. He never like stays with one image. And that is a thing that's a technique adopted by the CIA. Ask that Bustamante guy. He talked about this, being able to change your look up really easily and whatever. And this guy, his facial hair is different every time I see him, and it's crazy because it's like I've seen him 100,000 times, and each time it's different. I don't know. Of course, yeah, I'm not saying for sure that I think he's a fed, but I don't know. He might be a part of some organization, maybe not a federal government organization.
Do it all day. I won't come in. I will just stream from my hotel room. But it is what it is, okay? It's not their fault. It's out of our hands. It's out of everyone else's hands. Listen, they pushed out Joe Biden. Of course, they'll push me out too, They're kicking us out.
Unlucky.
I don't know why.
Apparently there's a double booking. That might just be an excuse. I don't know.
So I guess at the end of the day, while they do appreciate online influencers, the level of reverence and respect for online influencers is still not exactly up to par with, traditional media. Because I doubt that, NBC would be getting kicked out randomly. But now you can tell your colleagues, like, no, I saw the largest online commentator get chucked out with 60,000 people watching. It happens to everybody is what I'm saying.
Is he the largest? He thinks really highly of himself, doesn't he? He really... Oh, fuck, man. Yeah, I wonder what exactly... I wonder what the real reason is. It can't be just double booking. That can't be. I know, like, I would wager that the DNC really does operate in a way where its head is up its own ass. Despite that, even I don't think they are just so sloppy that they would accidentally put Hasan and someone else, assign them the same booth and be like, oops, we got to kick you out, buddy.
All right, we're ready to go. Let's let it rip. Shave your mustache like Mike Pillow? Yeah. I want to shave my mustache like Michael Pillow and come back in.
Did you see the footage of that?
I did. It was incredible. He got owned by children. How embarrassing.
That 12-year-old kid?
Yeah.
Dude, he did. He got owned by a fucking little 10-year-old black kid. Maybe he was 12. He looked tiny. And then he got owned by what I guess is like 13-year-old transitioning female to male guy named Harry Sisson. So Mike Lindell literally got gang raped by kids at the DNC and just took it. He shaved his mustache to go unnoticed. It was like a disguise for him to shave a mustache he's had for like 30 years. And it took people about 5 minutes to realize that it was him. And then the little kids started trolling him. Holy shit.
That was awesome. I mean, they didn't even take our credentials away. We still have access to this floor. I feel like the worst part about this is like, I feel like a kid that's been naughty. You know what I mean? But you also don't know I also don't know what I've done. And it almost feels like, it could be any number of different things. You know what I mean?
Bro, he for sure said something. He knows he did. He knows he said something that they didn't fucking like, or someone got word. Fucking Hasan, this guy, he's streaming. He has a booth at the DNC, and he's not actually like completely sucking our cocks up there. So we got to get up there and get him out of there. He knows he said something fucked up. How would you wouldn't feel like a bad kid getting punished unless you think you have something to feel punished for. Otherwise, you would just feel like a complete fucking loser because you're getting kicked out so someone else can fucking sit there. Some other random, who the fuck knows? It's probably going to be that fucking the climate change girl. The little, how dare you girl, just so she can sit up there.
And it's the uncertainty of it all that makes me feel worse about the situation. But I also still feel pretty good because I never would have imagined getting this level of access to begin with. No worries. Someone is definitely watching the stream because I literally said, oh, they didn't even take our credentials away. And then just showed up.
Dude. That I almost feel bad for him. That sucks. That fucking sucks. Bro, there you go. He said something, he pissed somebody off, and they're still fucking watching him, giggling. Oh, he still has his press pass. Go get it. Go get it. He's on the second floor. Go now. He's by the DMA mayors, whatever. They're in there having a fucking donkey show and banging each other. Go get him.
Someone is watching the stream.
But on this theory that we're going to give you the whole thing and then cut it down, you think it's because you said something today they didn't like?
I did compare DNC to Israel. That
oh wow, that's
might have been the
that's good stuff. That is good stuff.
final blow, because we got the call.
He's not wrong though. He's not wrong. It's just funny that he's getting kicked out for it.
All like shortly after I tweeted that, because so the Uncommitted campaign wanted to have a Palestinian American speak.
Yeah,
which I think is like a pretty reasonable demand. Like these aren't like random activists. These are like Democratic Party operatives, right? Like they just happen to be Palestinian American, right?
Right.
And Mehdi Hasan said, and Rashida Tlaib as well, confirmed it, that the DNC was like sending out information to the press that like, oh, actually we wanted the Georgian, the Palestinian American from Georgia, Rula, I think her name is.
Yeah.
That she was one of the speakers that they gave to the DNC with like a vetted speech, and then the DNC was apparently, or someone.
And how are the numbers looking?
We're landing at a strong 70.
Ooh.
SPF.
Thanks to JetBlue's low fares.
I'm never flying in a plane anywhere because I'm scared of 9/11 stuff. Stupid ad. Bad ad. Stop taking people's money and showing me ads for products and services I'll never use, YouTube.
Was leaking to the media that like it was the uncommitted movement that didn't want her to speak specifically, which doesn't make any sense because they literally kept presenting her very openly as the person. What?
She's out there with Abbas.
Yeah.
Right?
So Mehdi Hasan tweeted about it and was like, this is bullshit. We know that the uncommitted movement is the ones who actually put forward Rua. And I quote tweeted it. I was like, this is like Israel Hakra. Like, I don't understand what the DNC is doing. Like,
wait, so what? These some Palestinian speakers weren't allowed to speak? What the fuck did this other screenshot say? What was this? Huh. Yeah, so they're arguing about, I guess, the DNC and this other uncommitted MVMT are shifting blame back and forth or something. Yeah, so the DNC isn't allowing someone representing the, oh God, I was staring too long at that. My fucking eyes, Jesus. Saying they weren't letting the Palestinian person representative speak, but they're letting the fucking Israel representatives and hostage family members speak, but not anyone to represent Palestinian whatever.
Movement is the ones who actually put forward Rua. And I quote tweeted it. I was like, this is like Israel Hakra. Like, I don't understand what the DNC is doing. Like, trying to claim that it's not. Oh shit. AOC stuck behind a motorcade.
Yeah. What's this? Hold on. Bro, I am so under a rock with work. What is the TLDR and the DNC? I thought maybe Big Mike would come. Michelle Obama come out with a nomination. Are they still full steam ahead? Yeah, I mean, according to last night, they are full steam ahead with Kamala still, which is surprising to me too. I don't know if they're, dude. I don't know what to think about this election. I'm so fucking. I'm so spun out, paranoid. I don't know who to think they're, that the machine is is pushing forward. It's having Kamala as the Democratic nominee is surprising, though. She is such a shitty politician, speaker, thinker, anything. She's terrible at everything. She's terrible at being black. She's terrible at all of it. And somehow they're putting her up there. It is surprising. It really is. And she doesn't even, her policies and stuff, none of it is very clear. It was all a bunch of emotional bullshit last night, or for every night of the DNC. It was just emotional bullshit, charging the crowd with emotional statements and nothing about, nothing real clear in terms of policy and the future of America, it's all just like anti-Trump. Every speaker, that when we were watching, at least 90% of them, each one of them mentioned that Trump called the military veterans suckers and losers. Now, whether or not that's even true, we don't even have to debate that. The fact is, it should have been every single speaker listing out every policy that Kamala Harris was going to have and why it's a good thing. That's what we should have been hearing. And believe me, I have my critiques about the RNC too. Unfortunately, I hadn't started streaming back when the RNC happened, so don't think I'm being completely one-sided. Hulk Hogan coming out and ripping his shirt off is fucking cringe. He's just selling beer. I see right through it. The fucking, who's the other one? Amber Rose and the Trump rappers and all this crap. It's all shilling bullshit. They're all just pimping out their products and OnlyFans and fucking whatever the fuck. All of this is a real shit show with the word show capitalized. So anyway, back to this. Hasan, he was going to interview AOC. Here we go.
That sucks.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know. AOC stuck behind a motorcade.
Yeah,
that sucks.
So what are you going to do?
I don't know. I mean, I can get AOC anytime. It doesn't really matter. It would have been cool to do it here, but maybe we just don't do it. Maybe I just cancel it. I don't know. Omar's team hasn't got back to my manager, and we don't have a space. So I'm telling everybody, I'm canceling all of the interviews. You know what I mean, though? Chat and March.
That we use the most out of the opportunity.
This is a gimme. This was not supposed to happen at all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Not even in my wildest imagination would I have thought that we would have access to get into the DNC and have never in my wildest imagination would I have ever thought that we would get 4 days of just being inside of the DNC, getting full-blown access and taking advantage of it all the way. Obviously, I'm not a TikToker.
Dude, he got kicked out on the last day. What the fuck is that? That, honestly, I almost feel bad for him. I almost do. It's pretty crazy. And it does seem like it was for something he said. It's not like they just needed the space so that they could set up porta potties or something. Fucking, oh my God.
I'm not a YouTuber, which requires a much a different kind of lift, right? And it's pretty crazy. I'm surprised it took this long. I don't know. I mean, I think Daniela literally came over to be like, no, we're not kicking you out.
Yeah.
I think it was he did it in front of the New York Times. That was crazy.
Yeah.
That, do they think that was not going to be a part of a story potentially? Even congresspersons are having a hard time getting on the floor right now. No, I know. I'm literally talking to Ilhan Omar's team and they're we can't leave. Other congresspersons are not able to leave they're not able to exit
with
the areas
how
that
much
they're
of a
in.
shit show it is there, I definitely feel a sense of relief leaving.
Yeah. I think we lucked out.
Probably. Dude, if we had stayed to the very end, imagine trying to get out of there.
Oh my god. At first I was like, this sucks. Because I had mapped the whole thing. But
You know, he should be jealous of Alex Stein Alex Stein got kicked out in such a cooler fashion. It was so much cooler. Well, I'm gonna play that next. Alex Stein getting kicked out because that was actually funny. This is just like lame. They told you they needed the extra space. They weren't even like open with you, like, yeah. So you're just fanning the flames of this fight between Palestinians and Israelis, and you're online tweeting shit about the DNC not letting a Palestinian representative speak. So we're getting you out of here, dude. You've been a bad boy. They were just like, oh, we need this space. Someone from CNN is gonna sit here. Sorry, we double booked.
But now that we were able to like do a swift
Alex Stein, it was very clear why he got kicked out. He was a bad boy. He got in trouble, but he got a viral clip out of it. He got a very viral clip. This video only has like 100 some K plays or something.
exit, it's 8 p.m. By the time by the time we get there, we're gonna be able to like easily put that together. Boom, boom, boom. Desktop stream. I keep going, and this way I have an early flight out too. I get to,
Cool.
I didn't get kicked out of the convention. I just got kicked out of the studio space that they had given me, and they did it in like a very weird way too. They did it literally during.
But you got your press credentials taken away, right? He couldn't stay in the same area, like on that floor, could he? He got his fucking credentials taken. I think he did. I mean, security didn't make him leave like they did Alex Stein. They fucking walked his ass out, and he tried to sneak off with the credentials. They're like, give us the fucking credentials, asshole. Oh, fuck.
An interview that I was conducting with the New York Times about creators for Kamala, which makes it like extra crazy because it literally like that is a story in and of itself. I don't know if the guy will actually write about it or not, but like ultimately it was like a very weird thing to do overall, because like they had told me originally that they told me that I was fine. Like they told me that I was fine, like that I had this space, that they had allotted for me, that it was going to start late, but then it turns out it was not fine. Unceremoniously, out of nowhere, some super donor probably had you kicked out, so they had a box with their kid to watch Taylor Swift. I don't know how the box situation works, but I mean, I know Beyonce is going to perform. Obviously, like that was known for a while. They guaranteed you the space for the whole day and then kicked you out in a way that completely f***ed your schedule.
What did Beyonce perform? She performed after Kamala? Did she actually do that? What?
Yeah, but like also the other side of the story is that like honestly, the other side of the story ultimately is that like I was never supposed to be at the DNC. You know what I mean? So I'll take it. I'll take all the moments that they gave me and all of the I will take every aspect that I'll take all of the access that I got. News already reported on creators being kicked out of their spot. Okay, that's so cute, chat. That's funny. You guys are funny. You did great the whole time. All the booths were empty because Jamie Harrison is a piece of shit and planned awful. The arena got overfilled and shut down by the fire marshal to the point reporters can't get in. So they panicked and kicked out booths / influencers for space. It's why.
So it wasn't Beyonce? I'm looking here on another page. It sure was I hope wasn't Pink. That's depressing. Pink performed, and it was, again, like I said, it's lipstick on a pig. Many guests, those popular guests for wrong. Thursday night special guest. Pink, the Chicks, the Pack Drumline. What? Special guests. So they were saying people were talking about a surprise. I don't know if it was any like statement directly from the DNC. I guess I'll screen share this for just a second while I'm on this tangent. Oh, my cat woke up. He's going to want to go out. Last minute change at the DNC led to a frenzy of online speculation of who could be the special guest performance. Many guests, entertainers, top celebrities, Taylor Swift, Beyonce. The convention taking place in Chicago since Monday already had featured John Legend, Stevie Wonder, Oprah Winfrey. Is that a guest performance? Oprah Winfrey? What did she do? A mukbang? Those popular guesses were wrong, though. Thursday night special guests included Pink, the Chicks, who were the Dixie Chicks, but the Democrats are trying to distance themselves from the Dixie part of the Chicks, and the Pack drum line. Who the fuck Pink? That is disgraceful. Waited for Vice President Harris to deliver nominated. I said the internet had some more creative. I don't give a fuck. Okay, let's get back to Hasan. It's almost over. Where is this? Okay.
Why the PAL delegates can't get into. I've never experienced this as a journalist in my life. The DNC has told security at the United Center that journalists cannot be guaranteed re-entrance into the arena if they get to use the restrooms. Yeah, so that does make sense. That's literally the reason why I left, because Ilhan Omar could not exit.
They couldn't go to take a shit? Bro, that's funny because I said they were using his space to put in porta potties. I don't doubt that that's true. Maybe the whole Israel thing was just a ruse.
The arena. So that made it so that I was like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to talk to them. You understand? Like that it is like, I'm sure that is part of the reason why I got cooked. It's still whack as, but that's why I left. The reason why I left is because I knew that it was chaotic. And I didn't want to be there for that chaos. And that I knew that I was not going to be able to get to see or talk to anyone. Journalists are actually being turned away now. Chill. Press area way over capacity. Just saw Ta-Nehisi Coates get turned away. Yo, it's like, it's real casual like that. Everyone who's like pro-Palestine just accidentally happens to be getting clapped at the DNC. I'm not even kidding. I know it's like, it's not deliberate. It's not by design. I know that they're not doing it on purpose. But it is funny that like anyone who has criticized the DNC on the Palestine front is just like, hey, by the way, sorry, you just can't be in this location. How
is he? Is he unironically actually saying that there's no connection there? Even I think there's a connection there. Come on. Yeah, of course. That's why people are fucking were protesting, going fucking nuts outside, pretending to break through a fence. Y'all saw that video, right? Where they pretended they broke through a fence outside the DNC. All of that is the pro-Palestine shit. I mean, the split, I think getting Biden out of there has actually been a good thing for the Democrats, because Kamala, despite the fact that she's been at Joe's side throughout this whole situation since October 7th, getting Joe out of the front line and putting Kamala up there is like a fresh face. It's a fresh enough face to make dumbasses go, oh, okay, well, maybe things will be better with Kamala. Give it any in regards to any situation, whether it's the Israel-Palestine shit or inflation, the cost of fucking groceries. Like, the cost of food and gas has just been going up and up and up. It's not like they just noticed it, right? Like, her or Biden couldn't do anything about price gouging, or in her words, price gauging, fighting price gauging. She couldn't do anything about that the past 4 years, even though the prices have been going up and people have been complaining about it since they got into office pretty much. But yeah, so it's a fresh face. Given any of those situations, people have a short enough memory, and yeah, gouging was hilarious, bro. She didn't correct herself either. She kept going with it. Yeah, she's a fresh face for all of these issues. People are it's enough of a distinction that people are just like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, things will be different in a good way. We hope.
That I don't even think it's on purpose. I don't think it's on purpose. I think it actually is like overbooked. This Kellyanne Conway got let through a staff door. Well, I guess we don't have that kind of riz, dude. We are not as valuable to the to the Democratic Party as Kellyanne Conway. Jesus Christ, dude. I'm Lisan Al-Gaib, baby. Call me Lisan Al-Gaib the way I have the foresight, the way I have the vision.
It's an interesting
bro.
kind of.
Tell me how this wasn't the best move of all time. Okay, we were going to be sitting around, thumb up our, waiting for an interview that was never going to be able to happen. We were literally going to be in there. Instead, I'm in my sweet hotel room. I get to go to sleep early. I get to react. And I will say this, I wasn't like moderating my position when I was in there. I wasn't like saying anything that I normally would.
Okay, we're on Cope Mountain, where he's climbing Cope Mountain right now. He's got a backpack full of gear, and he's climbing Cope Mountain, and he's going past just like on Mount Everest. There's dead bodies, and one of the dead bodies is I get to be in my apartment, and it's I like my apartment, and I wasn't gonna be able to do those interviews anyway. I mean, he's right about all of that stuff. It does sound better. Getting kicked out of there does seem like it's better. But wait, what was this last point? What was he saying? Hold on. Something made me think.
Moderating my position.
Oh yes, moderate, and I can now speak my mind. I don't have to. Now I can say what I want to say because I'm not behind the Jewish enemy lines. Yes, now he can say all he wants about Israel and apartheid and fucking the river to the sea, the river to the DNC.
And when I was in there, I wasn't like saying anything that I normally wouldn't say, but I will say this. Okay, bro is coping. Is bro coping? No, I cannot pay attention in that room. It's
a little bit of coping. Okay, again, I thought it was a good thing that Alex Stein got kicked out, even though he probably could have gotten some really good interview stuff, clips here and there of him talking to different people. But Alex Stein trolled Cenk and got a viral clip out of that, and got a viral clip of him actually getting kicked out afterward. So he got two really good clips. He got on Piers Morgan. Alex Stein, when he interrupted Cenk was on live stream with Piers Morgan in a big debate panel with including Destiny and I think Lauren Southern or some there were some like conservatives on there, I think. I don't know. Anyway, he got two major good clips. That one that is a big fucking deal. Getting on Piers Morgan. Piers Morgan retweeted the clip. Alex got his fucking money's worth out of, or his effort worth out of getting kicked out of the RNC. It was worth it. The rest of the RNC was so fucking cringe. And Alex Stein actually had a good time and got kicked out for having a good time. And that's how I would want to go out of the RNC, is I was having too much fun, so they kicked me out. That's a good reason to get kicked out.
Was like virtually impossible. It was virtually impossible to pay attention. I think my commentary wasn't as good. You were yourself the whole way and got free interviews out of it. Yeah, I never compromised on my values. I never compromised on my views. But honestly, that was not easy.
Are you sure about that?
Like it was, I mean, obviously I was down to even fuck around to a degree where like I straight up played the Kamala Harris wants to vaccinate your children in the song in front of the DNC handlers that I had. They were like standing in the corner. I mean, they weren't handlers, but they were very nice, to be fair. But I do think it's true, but it does kind of display how out of touch the DNC are with your world and influence. Would they have done that with any mainstream media, possibly with far less reach? No, they would not. But remember, the mainstream media pays for those slots. Like they have to pay for it. So it's a little, I mean, it like that's what the New York Times guy was saying. I would never pay for that. They were kicking everyone out of those booths. You weren't in a permanent press spot. Yeah, I'm sure they just like cleared everybody out. It just sucks. Especially because there was literally another space that I could go to, but they were just like, no, you can't go there. Look, it worked out. Why did they take your credentials? They didn't. I have them still here. They didn't take my DNC credentials. They took my credentials to the floor, to that floor specifically, right after I said.
Okay. Let's see. Where's could I find Stein's clip easily? Ah. Okay.
You guys know it's a pimp on a blimp. It is 6:43
Alex Stein, pimp on a blimp. Like this shit.
a.m. You know what I'm getting for breakfast? Panda Express. No joke.
Plant-based pimp. Bro, you need to start eating some meat, Alex. We gotta turn you into a meat eater. Come on, dude. You can't just be eating beans and fucking leaves.
No. Breakfast of champions. I'm on my way to Milwaukee right now. Let's see, RNC baby, pimp on a blimp. Let's see how it goes. Look at this, dude. This guy's at the airport, about to get on the plane with no shoes. Dude.
Tom Sawyer, baby. Dude, Tom Sawyer, OG.
Right there. You guys are going to the RNC.
Coming from the All-Star.
The guy has shoes. He's just not wearing the shoes. In a fucking disgusting airport.
Game.
Oh, we're gonna go chase Trump's new ear piercing.
Yes.
He's gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna get a gauge right there with some diamonds on that now.
Dude, I gotta get footage of you. I'm on Spirit. The plane's half empty, which is good. Got the whole row to myself. Got 2 rows. Pimp on a blimp. RNC, baby. Let's go.
Bro, that scares me more. Being on a plane with less people. Oh God, that's scary. That makes me paranoid. Like they're gonna just take that fucking plane down to kill you.
Go primetime 99, headed to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. My first time.
Look, I stay. You know, I don't fucking fly often. I haven't flown in over a decade.
In Wisconsin, I believe. So, Spirit, howdy. Let's go, baby.
There's bolts loose. They got bolts loose on the wing.
This is nuts. We're at the RNC, dog. Pimp on a blimp. This looks like a movie set, dog. Let's go. Tap in. We're going insane for the Ukraine and for my boy Donald Trump. Alex Stein.
It's a movie set, all right. Idiocracy, the live show. Here we go. Look at his face. Look at his face. Look at his face. He's up to no good. Look at this man. Look at this man. I fucking love Alex. Look at this. Just look at the look on his face. He's up to no good. He's having bad thoughts. He's thinking of bad things to do. Ha! Look at that fucking menacing face.
The government sank his transgender. Sank his transgender.
Clearly implied.
Dude, that is so worth it. That was so worth it. This is what fucking Matt Walsh and My Pillow Mike, you guys could take a page out of Alex Stein's book. It would help you a lot. Instead, you guys are getting trolled by fucking 12-year-olds.
That it is odd, as in not negligence, but something that was
No, I don't
planned
know.
by
I'm
the
not.
government.
No, I'm not. I don't know.
Hey, get out of here, man. What the hell? Jesus Christ with these lunatic Republicans. Total lunatic Republicans. Yeah, go.
Bro, Chank, chill out, fam. Holy fuck. He gets so mad. Oh, Chank does not waste an opportunity to just get fucking mad.
Go ahead. Tell me your lunatic conspiracy theory about how odd
I don't have any. I don't have anything.
Can I just one quick question?
No, man, good to see. I'm like literally in the middle of something.
Did you
Find me
know
later.
JD?
Find me later.
Well,
I know JD. I know JD.
I know, but then he named his son Vivek after you. What do you think about that?
Come on.
You don't think he named it after you?
We've been good friends for a long time.
But
We've
so
been
you're
good
saying
friends.
that it's not named after you?
You ask him, man. You ask
But
him.
y'all were friends in law school, though, right?
We were good buds for a long time.
So it's named after you.
Trying to do something, bro. We've been good friends
Is it Vivek's kid?
for a long time.
But
We've
so
been
you're
good
saying
friends.
that it's not named after you?
You ask him, man. You ask
But
him.
y'all
Good
were
to
friends
see
in
you,
law
man.
school, though, right?
We were good buds for a long time.
So it's named after you.
Trying to do something, bro.
One second, Vivek. All you gotta do, confirm or deny. Vivek handles cover questions, and I love the guy. I just asked. He won't admit that JD named his son after him. That's an honor, Vivek.
Just leave the guy alone.
Charlie.
Hi, Alex Stein. How are you?
So good to see you.
You know we get mixed up all the time.
Everybody calls me the fake Charlie Kirk, you know.
How you doing, young man?
Dude, I thought you were Charlie Kirk.
I am Charlie.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Charlie Kirk?
Yes. Why do you think I have this crew?
Are you actually?
Yes.
All right. Well, this is different stuff from the DNC. We'll skip out to where he's getting kicked out.
JerseyJoe.com. If you want to restore integrity to America, restore integrity to our borders, restore integrity.
Come here, buddy. Come here. All right. My cat is asking to go outside. He wouldn't get up when I told him to get up. So you guys get to see him. Come here. Come here. Come here. You want to go out? You better come over here. Come here. You better come over here and let the people see you. Yes, sir. Yes. Come here. Come here. Oh. Oh. He's so handsome. He doesn't like to be picked up, though. He really doesn't. Look at my man. Look at my man. All right. I got to put him out real quick. I'll be right back. Oh. Come on, dude. Want to go out or are you going to eat some food? Little motherfucker. Okay. Yeah, he just yeah, he's a handsome, he's a cutie. He just goes outside. He's handsome. Where do you let him out? Just outside. Thought cats to fuck off because they do what they yeah. He no, that's my buddy. He's out a lot these days. A little too much. I don't like it, but yeah, he was supposed to be more of an inside cat, and I wasn't gonna fix him, get his little balls chopped off, and they looked so cute, his little balls dangling back there. But yeah, he liked going outside so much. I was like, okay, I guess I have to take him in. But yeah, that's my little buddy. He comes back. He just pretty much stays on the property. And it's so funny though, if there's a cat, there's a black cat that just used to like, there's chickens and roosters and fucking pheasants and cats and shit all over my fucking neighborhood. He's nice to the chickens for the most part. But yeah, he will fight another cat. Once my cat starts a fight with another cat that's on my property or was just on my property, he'll take it down the block. Bro, I've had to chase my fucking cat down the street because he's chasing some other fucking cat. It's so fucked up. I'm like, bro, it ain't that serious. Fuck, man. But yeah, hold on. We'll go back. Okay. This is Stein getting kicked out. Let's finish watching this and we'll get to RFK.
Thank you.
VoteJerseyJoe.com. Sank, hold on. I got you. Sank, I want to apologize. I'm sorry that I interrupted your thing.
Wait, are you Alex?
Yes, I'm a fan. No, you were nice. You were nice about my city council thing. Remember I said, give me the Fauci ouchie, Sank?
Yeah, Jack, let me call you back. It's Alex.
What? Sank, what? I'm a fan.
Okay, listen, brother, you can't jump into somebody's broadcast.
Why
That's
not?
obvious. Why not?
Yeah,
I don't
because you're
even know why
Sank.
you're
You're
still
like the
here.
most viral guy ever.
Yeah, I got you, but you don't get viral by just jumping
But I'm
in the
a
middle
pimp
of
on a blimp. You know, AOC, my favorite big booty Latina. That's how I got, you know.
I don't know that he could have saved himself from getting kicked out, but I feel like there could have been more of a possibility had Alex been just completely genuine here. He's clearly still trolling. He's still trolling Cenk. Why go up and apologize to him and just keep trolling? I think Alex had a sense that he was getting kicked out, and that's why he went up to him. But then when he's going up to Cenk to apologize, he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna keep trolling," and he's doing this like, "Why can't I interrupt your broadcast? I don't get it." Like,
Yeah. Look, when you go to do the city council stuff, I now remember you. Somebody reminded me.
Thank God. You like that?
Yeah,
because you've been nice. You've been nice, and I'm a fan of yours. I
know, but brother, so that's fine. That's good because somebody gave you the mic, and then you did your shtick.
Yeah,
okay. So if we ask you to come on the show and you punk, troll, whatever, but you keep it non-physical and you're on the mic, no problem. But when you jump in front of a camera,
but it's a joke,
no.
You know, because Alex shows you that and got a million hits. You know that.
I know, but I don't want everybody interrupting our broadcast to get a million.
But
hits.
I respect you a million times, so I hope it doesn't come off as a sign of it should come off as a sign as of respect because I want to be on the same program as you.
Yeah, I know that's.
And Anna though, I love Anna though.
Don't do it again, brother.
I won't.
I think
why is Anna becoming so right wing?
She's not right wing.
Yeah, she is,
okay,
dude.
I'm not having this.
What? No, I'm not. But you know she's going over.
By the way, it's
Hi,
Cenk.
I'm Rachel. I'm the comms director.
Oh, I love you, Jane.
Okay.
Can we come over here and chat? Hi, I'm Melissa, Deputy Director of Security.
Hey, before
Come
something bad
on,
happens,
Brian. Yeah, what's up? We're here.
we saw.
I know, Chankson, man. You know, he's a good guy. All right.
Say hi to the camera, Alex.
Yeah, pimp on a bump. Are we live right now?
We are, yeah.
Did you get Cenk? Cenk seems like a nice guy.
I did, yeah.
What's going on?
Unfortunately, just how it was handled earlier, that's not appropriate behavior in this vicinity. So I'm going to have to.
So I gotta leave? Okay. Okay, well, I'll give you my credentials when I leave.
he's trying to keep his fucking credentials. He's trying so hard. Oh fuck, man. This is a really good clip, and he got a second good clip on fucking Piers Morgan's show from this. But yeah, man, that's crazy. But again, like I said, it's kind of is there anybody that's on the right? Any like sort of more independent streamers or any kind of like, you know, majorly, I mean, not Fox. I guess maybe Fox had some spot at the DNC. Maybe not, though. I don't fucking know. I just feel like it would be even more unsafe for a fucking right-wing person who had the level of fame as Cenk, where he's, you know, he's not fucking, he's not CNN. He's the fucking Young Turks. They've got, you know, they're very popular, but yeah, man, I don't know how that would work. I feel like they would get truly physically assaulted, a conservative streamer or, you know, whatever that had a booth like that. I would worry for them.
Oh, just film me here. Hold on, film it, Brandon. I got to give her my credentials.
Yes. Your Secret Service credentials are being.
Well, for what reason?
For your behavior
Can
on
you
the
just
floor.
walk me outside here?
You want to do it outside in private?
Yeah, I'd rather just do this outside in private. We're going outside this way.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
We're just trying to leave.
No, we're done.
We need your credentials first.
Thank you.
Dude, oh fuck. And look at everybody looking at him. Look at these guys. Look at these fucking feds. Oh fuck, that's funny.
I have no idea.
The fucking music, the fucking troll smile on his face as he's getting kicked out. Oh fuck.
So I guess you're kicking me out of the RNC. I don't know because I confronted Sank. Wait, so what's going on? So I'm not allowed to be here anymore?
You're not allowed to be here anymore.
But why not?
Because they've
credentials now, so you can't be in the security clearance. So you're gonna. I know, but why'd I get kicked out?
You're gonna take that up with the RNC.
Trying to kick me out. I know they're trying to kick out the pimp on a blimp. Look how many security. Why am I getting kicked out? We got it. Pimp on a blimp, guys. They kicked us out. Primetime 99. It's too much love for the RNC. It's okay. When you grind, sometimes your shine gets, halted. They mess with you. It is what it is. Guys, it's Primetime 99. Pimp on a blimp. I just got escorted out of the RNC all because I confronted Sank Junger. I don't even know how to say his name. He corrected me. Don't care. Guys, free speech does not exist. They try to eliminate Pimp on a blimp. What's that all about?
Congressman, I said, can you believe they kicked me out? What do you think? What do you think about that?
Look, we're supposed to be a country of free speech, and the Secret Service is out of line anytime they stifle free speech. I checked. You're not armed. You were complaining about the fact that the president got shot by inept failure by the Secret Service under this administration.
God bless Congressman. Thank you. Thank you so much. We love this. The good American patriot. All right,
Okay. Let's I guess we'll do the sad music is key. Alex is funny as hell. Yes, bro. He's funny as fuck. I love Alex Stein. But yeah, if you're gonna get kicked out of a national convention for either party, that's how you do it right there. You give them a good reason to kick you out, not because they need your booth for Jake Tapper. Let's see. Do I want to go through this whole fucking thing? You guys, what am I gonna do here? Are we about to listen to all of Fuckboy's speech? Let me screen share. Are we really gonna do this? Can we make it through this? I don't know if we can make it through this. RFK Jr. I type like a fucking slow person. I know. Dropping out speech full.
Hard Mountain Dew with 5% alcohol is ridiculously refreshing.
Hard Mountain Dew? What the fuck? That's actually crazy. I mean, I'm never going to drink it because clearly this is meant to kill you, whether just by drinking it or by you getting into an accident because you fell asleep behind the wheel and you were drunk. It's clearly meant to kill you, but, and I'll never drink it. But this is controversial. This is big news. Hard Mountain Dew. I would maybe take a sip and spit it out just to see. That's kind of crazy.
I'm sorry to keep everybody waiting. 16 months ago, in April of 2023.
Is my audio cutting out?
I launched my campaign for President of the United States.
Oh, no, that's his voice.
I began this journey as a Democrat, the party of my father, my uncle, the party which I pledged my own allegiance to long before I was old enough to vote. I attended my first Democratic convention at the age of 6 in 1960. And back then, the Democrats were the champions of the Constitution, of civil rights. The Democrats stood against.
Let's sped it up a little bit. Let's see how this goes.
Against authoritarianism, against censorship, against colonialism, imperialism, and unjust wars. We were the party of labor, of the working class. The Democrats were the party of government transparency and the champion of the environment. Our party was the bulwark against big money interests and corporate power. True to its name, it was the party of democracy. As you know, I left that party in October because it had departed so dramatically from the core values that I grew up with. It had become the party of war, censorship, corruption, big pharma, big tech, big ag, and big money. When it abandoned democracy by canceling the primary to conceal.
I don't know. I don't like the state of our food production. I like some of the things this guy stands up for. I don't like the fact that it is the standard to grow everything by spraying it with poison. I really don't like that. I eat almost exclusively, entirely organic stuff, and I really feel like it's had a very much a positive impact on me. And I could go on, but I could go on and on about the benefits that I've experienced through really taking control of my diet. Truly, so many benefits. I'll do a whole video on that someday. But yeah, so I like hearing somebody, whether it's a politician or whoever, talk about cracking down on big ag and big pharma and stuff like that. You know, it's not just the people eating the fucking food that are affected by the shit that you spray on the food. I mean, when it rains, that stuff travels. The particles from the fucking fertilizer and the herbicides and pesticides, that stuff runs downhill into water, into bodies of water. You're contaminating everybody's shit. And, you know, it's a concern. Now, I'm not stupid enough to think like, okay, it'll just be easy peasy if we just stop using all that stuff. Like, I don't know what it would look like for the standard to be organically grown stuff. That might be a lot more difficult than I can entirely grasp. I know that there's some, I've looked into this a little bit before. I think it's like papaya or something. There's like different fruits and foods that are genuinely very difficult to grow, produce for selling, without using herbicides, pesticides, GMO, genetically modifying them to grow a certain way. There's some stuff that is very difficult, and the whole golden rice debate, there's that too, you know? So it's like, I get it. It's complicated, but I like to hear someone talk like this. You know, this at least opens up, if we have someone bringing attention to the shit that they put on our food, it's at least we're bringing people's attention to it and having the fucking conversation. So far, we haven't even had the conversation as a society like, hey, don't you think maybe that there could be some, even if it's small, some effect on people when you're spraying fucking bug poison on everything, spraying fucking weed killer on all the food? You think maybe we'd have some bad health side effects from that? I don't know, guys. You know, it's a possibility, right? Let's talk about it at least. I mean, I'm not going to eat the shit. You guys can keep fucking stuffing your faces with McDonald's French fries if you want. I'm not going to eat it, but I think we should at least have the conversation, right?
The cognitive decline of the sitting president, I left the party to run as an independent. The mainstream of American politics and journalism derided my decision. Conventional wisdom said that it would be impossible even to get on the ballot.
I got to hit this bowl. You guys watch this for a second.
As an independent, because each state poses an insurmountable tangle of arbitrary rules for collecting signatures. I would need over 1 million signatures, something no presidential candidate in history had ever achieved. And then I'd need a team of attorneys and millions of dollars to handle all the legal challenges from the DNC. The naysayers told us that we were climbing a glass version of Mount Impossible. So the first thing I want to tell you is that we proved them wrong. We did it because beneath the radar of mainstream media organs, we inspired a massive independent political movement. More than 100,000 volunteers sprang into action, hopeful that they could reverse our nation's decline. Many worked 10-hour days, sometimes in blizzards and blazing heat. They sacrificed family time, personal commitments, and sleep month after month, energized by a shared vision of a nation healed of its divisions. They set up tables at churches and farmers markets. They canvassed door to door. In Utah and in New Hampshire, volunteers collected signatures in snowstorms, convincing each supporter to stop in the frigid cold, to take off their gloves, and to sign legibly. During a heat wave in Nevada, I met a tall, athletic volunteer who cheerfully told me that he had lost 25 pounds collecting signatures in 117-degree heat. To finance this effort, young Americans donated their
25 pounds just from walking around collecting signatures. Holy fuck.
Lunch money, and senior citizens gave up part of their Social Security checks. Our 50-state organization collected those millions of signatures and more. No presidential campaign in American political history has ever done that. And so I want to thank.
Hold on, I'll read your, what do you got here, Willie? I knew a guy in Iowa that worked for Monsanto and had something to do with the glyphosate and was one of the wealthiest men in Iowa, had his own 9-hole golf course, car collection with a car elevator, etc. Yeah, I believe it. I don't need to see any evidence of that. I truly believe that. Yeah, bro, it's crazy. I think they're supposed to round up. I haven't looked into this in a while. There's so much going on, but Roundup was actually supposed to be taking glyphosate out of the ingredients for Roundup. Is it Monsanto? I forget I thought somebody else bought Roundup. Am I fucking crazy? Did someone else buy Roundup? Anyway, yeah, fucking, they're supposed to be taking glyphosate out of the Roundup, the spray bottles that you get at Home Depot or fucking Walmart, wherever, because it's so bad and dangerous. I imagine that's the reasoning. That's why they be, they'd be taking it out of the ingredients, but they're still spraying that on our food. The glyphosate ridden Roundup is still going to be sprayed on the food. So isn't that kind of like, is anyone else like, hey, wait, hold on, what, you're spraying what? You're taking something off the shelves. I can't spray my weeds at home with this stuff because it's too dangerous. You're taking the glyphosate out of Roundup because it's too dangerous for me to spray on my weeds at home, but you're going to spray our food with it still. Okay, that checks out. Yeah, no questions. We don't need to have a conversation about that. It's all good. Whatever. Fucking CDC, they got it under control. We're good. EPA, no problems here. Just spray the food with poison that is too dangerous to sell at the store. Just spray it on the food. Spray it right on the food, and then you just put your food on the weeds, and that kills the weeds. That's what you're supposed to do. It's sprayed on the food.
Thank all of those dedicated volunteers and congratulate the campaign staff who coordinated this enormous logistical feat. Your accomplishments were regarded as impossible. You carried me up that glass mountain. You pulled off a miracle. You achieved what all the pundits said could never be done. You have my deepest gratitude, and I'm never going to forget that, not just for what you did for my campaign, but for the sacrifices you made because you love our country. You showed everyone that democracy is still possible here. It continues to survive in the press and in the idealistic human energies that still thrive beneath a canvas of neglect and of official and institutional corruption. Today, I'm here to tell you that I will not allow your efforts to go to waste. I'm here to tell you that I will leverage your tremendous accomplishments to serve the ideals that we share, the ideals of peace, of prosperity, of freedom, of health, all the ideals that motivated my campaign.
Okay, what I was remembering, Bayer. That's it. The company Bayer purchased or merged hold on, where did with folded Monsanto into its crop science division and announced that the combined company would operate under the Bayer brand while keeping the brand names of acquired products. So yeah, that's what I was thinking of. Bayer is Monsanto now. Okay.
I'm here today to describe the path forward that you've opened with your commitment and with your hard labors. Now, in an honest system, I believe that I would have won the election. In a system that that my father and my uncles thrived in, a system with open debates, with fair primaries, with regularly scheduled debates, with fair primaries, and with a truly independent media untainted by government propaganda and censorship. In a system of nonpartisan courts and election boards, everything would be different. After all, the polls consistently showed me beating each of the other candidates, both in favorability and also in head-to-head matchups. But I'm sorry to say that while democracy may still be alive at the grassroots, it has become little more than a slogan for our political institutions, for our media, and for our government, and most sadly at all for me, the Democratic Party. In the name of saving democracy, the Democratic Party set itself to dismantling it, lacking confidence in its candidate, that its candidate could win in a fair election at the voting booth. The DNC waged continual legal warfare against both President Trump and myself. Each time that our volunteers turned in those towering boxes of signatures needed to get on the ballot, the DNC dragged us into court, state after state, attempting to erase their work and to subvert the will of the voters who had signed those petitions. It deployed DNC-aligned judges to throw me and other candidates off the ballot and to throw President Trump in jail. It ran a sham primary that was rigged to prevent any serious challenge to President Biden. Then, when a predictably bungled debate performance precipitated the palace coup against President Biden, the same shadowy DNC operatives appointed his successor, also without an election. They installed a candidate who was so unpopular with voters that she dropped out in 2020 without winning a single delegate. My uncle and my father both relished debate. They prided themselves on their capacity to go toe-to-toe with any opponent in the battle over ideas. They would be astonished to learn of a Democratic Party presidential nominee who, like Vice President Harris, has not appeared in a single interview or an unscripted encounter with voters for 35 days. This is profoundly undemocratic. How are people to choose when they don't know whom they are choosing? And how can this look to the rest of the world? My father and my uncle were all...
Yeah, that's the thing, you know. I didn't play Kamala's speech on here. I was off stream by the time she went on, and I don't feel like playing it tonight. But you know, I saw plenty of clips, and she spoke well. And you know that if you have a completely scripted thing, she's had time to practice. You know, all of that time she could have been doing interviews and letting the voters of America really understand her policies and positions on different topics. All of that time that she saved by not doing any of that, no interviews or interaction with the public, unscripted, the whole time she was practicing her DNC speech. And you know what? It looked like she did. She spoke pretty well from the clips I saw. And but of course, that's any time she gets asked a question and and it starts up with the fucking cackling because she can't confront a difficult question. So she just starts fucking cackling, that fake fucking laugh that's just supposed to encourage other people to laugh because you're laughing funny. And people eat it up. They buy it, I guess. They really buy it because she has support. And they'll watch her do some scripted shit and just be like, oh, I guess she's an okay candidate. She can't answer a single fucking question. But, you know, a scripted speech, and that's all it takes. People just fucking eat it up.
Always conscious of America's image abroad because of our nation's role as the template for democracy, the role model for democratic processes, and the leader of the free world. Instead of showing us her substance and character, the DNC and its media organs engineered a surge of popularity for Vice President Harris based upon, well, nothing. No policies, no interviews, no debates, only smoke and mirrors and balloons in a highly reduced Chicago circus. There,
and a crying retarded kid.
In Chicago, a string of Democratic speakers mentioned Donald Trump 147 times just on the first day. Who needs a policy when you have Trump to hate? In contrast, at the RNC convention, President Biden was mentioned only twice in 4 days. I do interviews every day.
Wow. We watched it last night. We've been watching it, guys. You remember every single fucking person that talked was like, Trump's the sucker. Trump's the loser. Not our veterans. Okay? And he said that they were suckers and losers. By the way, I'm a ex-CIA, ex-head of the CIA, so we have to defend democracy across the planet. By the way, yes, I was the head of the CIA. Yes, me, saying we need to protect democracy in other countries. Eat it up. Eat it up, guys.
Many of you have interviewed me. Anybody who asks gets to interview me. Some days I do as many as 10. President Trump, who actually was nominated, and
well, the clip where crying retarded kid, yes, I said it. We were all thinking it. I said it. Has anyone that's good. Has anyone seen Joe Biden's skeleton recently? So the clip with him jerking the arm, I have to say Airplane Willie, I mean, he did jerk his arm, but I think people are blowing that out of proportion more than it needs to be. That the way he did it was, it's plausible that was more of like, you know, I could see the that being a gesture that's more to be like, all right, come on, son, let's get up. Like when he jerked his arm, but not where he pulled any body weight. He didn't actually pull him out there aggressively. He just kind of like jerked his arm like, come on, you're the vice president's son. Get out here and smoke some crack. You know, that kind of jerk. I don't think it was an abusive gesture. I know some people will disagree with me, but I think it's a bit of a stretch to say it was abusive in some way. I don't know. I imagine because, and maybe going too deep here, but I imagine because there's now all of the talk about him having what a neurodivergent to autism, everything that they've said he has. So I think because of that, people are sort of thinking they're making an educated guess at what that gesture is. Like, oh, he dragged his son like that because he probably gets real frustrated with him because he's mentally, you know, effed up a little bit.
Won an election, also does interviews daily. How did the Democratic Party choose a candidate that has never done an interview or debate during the entire election cycle? We know the answers. They did it by weaponizing the government agencies. They did it by abandoning democracy. They did it by suing the opposition and by disenfranchising American voters. What most alarms me isn't how the Democratic Party conducts its internal affairs or runs its candidates. What alarms me is the resort to censorship and media control and the weaponization of the federal agencies. When a U.S. president colludes with or outright coerces media companies to censor political speech, it's an attack on our most sacred right of free expression, and that's the very right upon which all of our other constitutional rights rest. President Biden,
what if he said right now, and they kicked out Hasan Piker? Not just me, they did Hasan dirty too.
Mocked Vladimir Putin's 88% landslide in the Russian elections, observing that Putin and his party controlled the Russian press and that Putin prevented serious opponents from appearing on the ballot. But here in America, the DNC also prevented opponents from appearing on the ballot. And our television networks expose themselves as Democratic Party organs over the course of more than a year in a campaign where my poll numbers reached at times in the high 20s. The DNC-aligned mainstream media networks maintain a near perfect embargo on interviews with me. During his 10-month presidential campaign in 1992, Ross Perot gave 34 interviews on mainstream networks. In contrast, during the 16 months since I declared, ABC, NBC, CBS, MSNBC, and CNN combined gave only 2 live interviews from me. Those networks instead ran a continuous deluge of hit pieces with inaccurate, often vile, pejoratives and defamatory smears. Some of those same networks and colluded with the DNC to keep me off the debate stage. Representatives of those networks are in this room right now, and I'll just take a moment to ask you to consider the many ways that your institutions have abdicated this really sacred responsibility, the duty of a free press to safeguard democracy and to challenge always the party in power. Instead of maintaining that posture of fear or skepticism toward authority, Your institutions have made themselves government mouthpieces and stenographers for the organs of power.
They paid $500,000 for a fucking suite at the DNC. Of course they're jerking each other off up there. What do you think is going on?
You didn't alone cause the devolution of American democracy, but you could have prevented it. The Democratic Party's censorship of social media was even more of a naked exercise of executive power. This week, a federal judge, Terry Doty, upheld my injunction against President Biden, calling the White House's censorship project, quote, the most egregious violation of the First Amendment in the history of the United States of America. Doty's previous 155-page decision details how just 37 hours after he took the oath of office, swearing to uphold the Constitution, President Biden...
Building your online business? Go to Wix.com and set up your store.
I'm not building an online business. Why are you giving me this ad? Bad ad.
And his White House opened up a portal and then invited the CIA, the FBI, CISA, which is a censorship agency. It's the center of the censorship industrial complex, DHS, the IRS, and other agencies to censor me and other political dissidents on social media. Even today, users who try to post my campaign videos to Facebook or YouTube get messages that this content violates community standards. 2 days after Judge Doty rendered his decision this week, Facebook was still attaching warning labels to an online petition calling on ABC to include me in the upcoming debate. They said that violates community standards, their community standards. The mainstream media was once the guardian of the First Amendment and democratic principles, and has joined this systemic attack on democracy. It also, the media justifies their censorship on the grounds of combating misinformation, but governments and oppressors don't censor lies. They don't fear lies. They fear the truth, and that's what they censor. And I don't want any of this to sound like a personal complaint, because it's not. For me, it's all part of a journey, and it's a journey.
I know the struggle. My Instagram, and my everything. This YouTube page too. I'm just. Oh, they got me in a bad algorithm. They really do, guys. They really do. It hurts. It does. I used to have 10 to 100 times the fucking engagement on any of my fucking platforms. The Facebook and Instagram that I've had the longest. And they got me in some bad algorithm, bro.
Journey that I signed up with. But I need to make these observations because I think they're critical for us doing the thing that we need to do as citizens in a democracy to assess where we are in this country and what our democracy still looks like, and the assumptions about U.S. leadership around the globe. And are we really still a role model for democracy in this country? Or have we made it, a kind of a joke? And here's the good news. While mainstream outlets denied me a critical platform, they didn't shut down my ideas, which have especially flourished among young voters and independent voters, thanks to the alternative media. Many months ago, I promised the American people that I would withdraw from the race if I became a spoiler. A spoiler is someone who will alter the outcome of the election but has no chance of winning. In my heart, I no longer believe that I have a realistic path to electoral victory in the face of this relentless systematic censorship and media control. So I cannot in good conscience ask my staff and volunteers to keep working their long hours or ask my donors to keep giving when I cannot honestly tell them that I have a real path to the White House. Furthermore, our polling consistently showed that by staying on the ballot in the battleground states, I would likely hand the election over to the Democrats with whom I disagree on the most existential issues: censorship, war, and chronic disease. I want everyone to know that I am not terminating my campaign. I am simply suspending it and not ending it. My name will remain on the ballot in most states. If you live in a blue state, you can vote for me without harming or helping President Trump or Vice President Harris. In red states, the same will apply. I encourage you to vote for me. And if enough of you do vote for me, and neither of the major party candidates win 270 votes, which is quite possible. In fact, today our polling shows them tying it.
Wait, did he say, why is he? Okay, that was confusing the way he said that. I can't tell if he's saying it sounds like he said his name's still going to be on the ballot, whether it's red or blue states. But it sounded initially like he was going to say only the places, the states, the blue states, he would be on the ballot. I don't know why he had to, delineate or whatever there. I don't, if it's the same for either color state. I don't know.
269 to 269. And I could conceivably still end up in the White House in a contingent election. But in about 10 battleground states where my presence would be a spoiler, I'm going to remove my name. And I've already started that process and urge voters not to vote for me. It's with a sense of victory and not defeat that I'm suspending my campaign activities. Not only did we do the impossible.
Bob Lee. Yeah, sorry. Me too. He needs to, they should have given him a lobotomy like they did that one Kennedy girl that ended up retarded afterward.
By collecting 1 million signatures, we changed the national political conversation forever. Chronic disease, free speech, government corruption, breaking our addiction to war have moved to the center of politics. I can say to all who have worked so hard the last year and a half, thank you for a job well done. 3 great causes drove me to enter this race in the first place, primarily. And these are the principal causes that persuaded me to leave the Democratic Party and run as an independent. And now to throw my support to President Trump. The causes were free speech, a war in Ukraine, and the war on our children. I've already described some of my personal experiences and struggles with the government's censorship industrial complex. I want to say a word about the Ukraine war. The military industrial complex has provided us with a familiar comic book justification, like I do on every war, that this one is a noble effort to stop a supervillain, Vladimir Putin, invading the Ukraine and then to thwart his Hitler-like march across Europe. In fact, tiny Ukraine is a proxy in a geopolitical struggle initiated by the ambitions of the U.S. neocons or American global hegemony. I'm not excusing Putin for invading Ukraine. He had other options. But the war is Russia's predictable response to the reckless neocon project of extending NATO to encircle Russia, a hostile act. The credulous media rarely explain to Americans that
that's the argument. And who the fuck was it? The general or whoever the fuck, Dave Smith, the comedian Dave Smith, pointed this out, that there was like whoever the fuck, generals or somebody in positions of power, that openly stated that everything would be fine if it weren't for NATO expansion, and that they basically caused it. I forget who the fuck the general. I'm pretty sure it was a general.
we unilaterally walked away from 2 intermediate nuclear weapons treaties with Russia and then put nuclear-ready Aegis missile systems in Romania and Poland. This is a hostile act.
I think he said there was something else that that they were going to sign, and they refused. The U.S. or the generals said they refused to sign this, like saying they weren't going to expand NATO or something. I forget what it was. Something recent. I don't know enough about. All I know is it's my tax dollars. Okay, that's all I got to say.
And that the Biden White House repeatedly spurned Russia's offer to settle this war peacefully. The Ukraine war began in 2014 when U.S. agencies overthrew the democratically elected government of Ukraine and installed a hand-picked pro-Western government that launched a deadly civil war against ethnic Russians in Ukraine. In 2019, America walked away from a peace treaty, the Minsk Agreement, that had been negotiated between Russia and Ukraine by European nations. And then in April of 2022, we wanted the war. In April of 2022.
Okay, I think that's the treaty that I was just talking about, but I'm too stupid to really remember. But yes, I think that's the one Dave Smith was referring to in that whatever shit that he was talking about.
President Biden sent Boris Johnson to Ukraine to force President Zelensky to tear up a peace agreement that he and the Russians had already signed, and the Russians were withdrawing troops from Kiev and Donbass and Lugansk. And that peace agreement would have brought peace to the region and would have allowed Donbass and Lugansk to remain part of Ukraine. President Biden stated that month that his objective in the war was regime change in Russia. His Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin simultaneously explained that America's purpose in the war was to exhaust the Russian army, to degrade its capacity to fight anywhere else in the world. These objectives, of course, have nothing to do with what they were telling Americans about protecting Ukraine's sovereignty. Ukraine is a victim.
Imagine that.
In this war, and it's a victim of the West. Since then, of Russia and both Russia and the West. Since then, we have since tearing up that agreement.
So yeah, all of those Ukrainian soldiers getting drafted against their will, dragged out of their fucking house and throwing a fucking helmet on them. They're getting killed due to Biden's agenda.
Agreement forcing Zelensky to tear up the agreement. We've squandered the flower of Ukrainian youth, as many as 600,000 Ukrainian kids and over 100,000 Russian kids.
Do what? Didn't he rape his babysitter? I don't know. Did he? You look it up and tell me.
None of whom, all of whom we should be mourning, have died, and the Ukraine's infrastructure is destroyed. The war has been a disaster for our country as well. We squandered nearly $200 billion already, and these are badly needed dollars in our communities, suffering communities all over our country. The Nord Stream pipeline sabotage and the sanctions have destroyed Europe's industrial base, which formed the bulwark of U.S. national security. A strong Germany with a strong industry is a much...
Nord Stream pipeline, Condoleezza Rice was constantly flirting with the idea of that being destroyed. I'm sure that has nothing to do with it being destroyed now.
Much stronger deterrent to Russia, and a Germany that is deindustrialized and turned into just an extension of a U.S. military base. We've pushed Russia into a disastrous alliance with China and Iran. We're closer to the brink of nuclear exchange than at any time since 1962. And the neocons in the White House don't seem to care at all. Our moral authority and our economy are in shambles. And the war gave rise to the emergence of BRICS, which now threatens to replace the dollar as the global reserve currency. This is a first-class calamity for our country. Judging by her bellicose, belligerent speech last night in Chicago, we can assume that President Harris will be an enthusiastic advocate for this and other neocon military adventures. And President Trump says that he will reopen negotiations with President Putin and end the war overnight as soon as he becomes president. This alone would justify my support for his campaign.
Trump could probably actually do that. And the Democrats would spin it like they spun every other fucking... Kamala Harris isn't going to bow down to dictators. But Trump could end the fucking war in 5 seconds by making a goddamn phone call, and they say he's bowing down to dictators because they want to spill more blood and sell more fucking Halliburton specials.
Last summer, it looked like no candidate was willing to negotiate a quick end to the Ukraine war, to tackle chronic disease epidemic, to protect free speech, our constitutional freedoms, to clean corporate influence out of our government, or to defy the neocons and their agenda of endless military adventurism. But now one of the two candidates has adopted these issues as his own, to the point where he has asked to enlist me in his administration. I'm speaking, of course, of Donald Trump. Less than 2 hours after President Trump narrowly escaped assassination, Callie Means called me on my cell phone. I was then in Las Vegas. Callie is arguably the leading advocate for food safety, for soil regeneration, and for ending the chronic disease epidemic that is destroying America's health and ruining our economy. Callie has exposed the insidious corruption at the FDA, the NIH, the HHS, and the USDA that has caused the epidemic. Callie had been working on and off for my campaign, advising me on those subjects since the beginning. And those subjects have been my primary focus for the last 20 years. I was delighted when Callie told me that day that he had also been advising President Trump. He told me President Trump was anxious to talk to me about chronic disease and other subjects and to explore avenues.
Wait till RFK tells Trump that those fucking the fucking Big Macs are killing him. That's all it'll take, and Trump will kick him out of the fucking cabinet.
Years of cooperation. He asked if I would take a call from the president. President Trump telephoned me a few minutes later, and I met with him the following day. A few weeks later, I met again with President Trump and his family members and closest advisors in Florida. In a series of long, intense discussions, I was surprised to discover that we are aligned on many key issues. In those meetings, he suggested that we join forces as a unity party. We talked about Abraham Lincoln's team of rivals. That arrangement would allow us to disagree publicly and privately and fiercely, if need be, on issues over which we differ, while working together on the existential issues upon which we are in concordance. I was a ferocious critic of many of the policies during his first administration, and there are still issues and approaches upon which we continue to have very serious differences.
I hope there's one issue that you guys can really come to a good agreement on and say that Trump kind of effed up. There's one thing that everybody almost got forced to get. That one thing, I hope you guys can agree on that. Talk to Pfizer.
We are aligned with each other on other key issues like ending the forever wars, ending the childhood disease epidemic, securing the border, protecting freedom of speech, unraveling the corporate capture of our regulatory agencies, getting the U.S. intelligence agencies out of the business of propagandizing and censoring and surveilling Americans, and interfering with our elections. Following my first discussion with President Trump, I tried unsuccessfully to open similar discussions with Vice President Harris. Vice President Harris declined to meet or even to speak with me. Suspending my candidacy is a heart-rending decision for me, but I'm convinced that it's...
Well, she would speak to you if she had a pre-written, pre-prepared speech. Like, she would do a speech for you, but she doesn't want to. She's not good at conversation, bro. She is double-digit IQ little, cocksucker. So what is she going to talk to you about? It's crazy, and believe me, I get it. Like, Trump isn't the best speaker when it comes to just full sentences. Okay, I get it. But even Trump could have a more intelligent, prosperous conversation, meaningful conversation with RFK. He could definitely have a better one than Kamala. She would just start fucking cackling.
It's the best hope for ending the Ukraine war and ending the chronic disease epidemic that is eroding our nation's vitality from the inside, and for finally protecting free speech. I feel a moral obligation to use this opportunity to save millions of American children, above all things. In case some of you don't realize how dire the condition is of our children's health and chronic disease in general, I would urge you to view Dr. Carlson's recent interview with Kelly Means and his sister, Dr. Casey Means, who is the top graduate of her class at Stanford Medical School. This is an issue that affects all of us far more directly and urgently than any culture war issue and all the other issues that we obsess on and that are tearing apart our country. This is the most important issue. Therefore, it has the potential to bring us together. So let me share a little bit about why I believe it's so urgent. Today, 2/3, we spend more on healthcare than any country on earth, twice what they pay in Europe. And yet we have
Please tell him the healthcare problem. We would have no fucking healthcare problem if we just didn't spray the food with poison and fucking put poison in the fucking water. Please tell them all. Thank you, RFK. I hope that's what you're going to say.
Worst health outcomes of any nation in the world. We're about 79th in health outcomes behind Costa Rica, and Nicaragua, and Mongolia, and other countries. Nobody has a chronic disease burden like we have. And during the COVID epidemic, we had the highest body count of any country in the world. We had 16% of the COVID deaths, and we only have 4.2% of the world's population. And CDC says that's because we are the sickest people on earth. We have the highest chronic disease rate on earth. And the average American who died on COVID had 3.8 chronic diseases. So these were people who had immune system collapse, who had mitochondrial dysfunction. And no other country has anything like this. 2/3 of American adults and children suffer from chronic health issues. 50 years ago, that number was less than 1%. So we've gone from 1% to 66%. In America, 74% of Americans are now overweight or obese, and 50% of our children. 120 years ago, when somebody was obese, they were sent to the circus. There were case reports done about them. Obesity was almost unknown. In Japan, childhood obesity rate.
Hey, look at this freak. He's fat. That's what they used to do back in the day. Holy shit. Look at this freak. No one's ever seen somebody that's fat. Look at this person. Wow, they're like 2 or 3 people in one person. Look how fucking fat this person is. I've never seen a fat person. That's what they used to do back in the day. When they'd see a fat person, they're just like, wow. It's like seeing someone with 2 heads, like, holy fuck, look at how they jiggle. Now that's everybody's mom. That's everybody's mom right now.
It is 3% compared to 50% a year. Half of Americans have pre-diabetes or type 2 diabetes. When my uncle was president, I was a boy. Juvenile diabetes was effectively non-existent. A typical pediatrician would see 1 case of diabetes during his entire career, a 40 or 50-year career. Today, 1 out of every 3 kids who walks through his office door is diabetic or pre-diabetic. And the mitochondrial disorder that caused diabetes also causing Alzheimer's, which is now classified as diabetes.
What's up? Who is this? Nick of R2B? Is this Nick the gun guy? Dark Match Steve, what's up, bro? Hey, how's it going, dude? Thanks for checking out the show. We already went over the Hasan stuff. I'm just closing out with he sounds like a blown speaker. Yeah. Fucking yeah, we're closing out with the RFK shit. Yeah, it's pretty it's interesting. I hope him and Trump can work together well. I hope, at this point, I am really hoping for Trump to win, even though I am suspicious about some issues with Trump. He's not perfect. I get it, but yeah, I'm hoping RFK and Trump can work together well, which is what he seems to be implying here. So yeah.
And it's costing this country more than our military budget every year. There's been an explosion of neurological illnesses that I never saw as a kid: ADD, ADHD, speech delay, language delay, Tourette's syndrome, narcolepsy, ASD, Asperger's, autism. In the year 2000, the autism rate was 1 in 1,500. Now autism rates in kids are 1 in 36, according to CDC nationally. Nobody's talking about this. 1 in every 22 kids in California has autism. And this is a crisis.
Including Tim Walz's son, apparently. He's one of 36.
Just that 77% of our kids are too disabled to serve in the United States military. What is happening to our country? And why isn't this in the headlines every single day? There's nobody else in the world that is experiencing this. This is only happening in America. About 18%. And by the way, there has been no change in diagnosis, which the industry sometimes like to say. There has been no change in screening. This is a change in incidence. In my generation, 70-year-old men, the autism rate.
I'd like to see I'd like to see two people debate that out if it is the just a difference in screening, because I mean, I've heard that from so many fucking people, and I don't know if that, I don't think that accounts for what we actually see. I feel like when I was just like a little kid, you never saw people that were like fucked up in the head. Like you didn't see them often. Now it's like you fucking walk past them every time you go to Walmart,
It's about 1 in 10,000. In my kids' generation, 1 in 34. I'll repeat, in California, 1 in 22. Why are we letting this happen? Why are we allowing this to happen to our children? These are the most precious assets that we have in this country. How can we let this happen to them? About 18% of American teens now have fatty liver disease. That's like 1 out of every 5. That disease, when I was a kid, only affected late-stage alcoholics who were elderly. Cancer rates are skyrocketing in the young and the old. Young adult cancers are up 79%. 1 in 4 American women is on antidepressant medication. 40% of teens have a mental health diagnosis. And 15% of high schoolers are on.
You guys, whoever the fuck is going to watching now and who will watch it later, this one of these days, I'll do a full breakdown talking about what shit things that you might want to be concerned about with certain foods and the shit that they put in them and stuff. I'm telling you guys, I feel completely different after changing my diet and stuff. I had for sure had bowel problems before. For a long time, I've had bowel issues, and I avoid going to the doctor. And I've also I've had blood sugar issues and stuff like that. And again, I don't like going to the doctor, so I don't know if I was hypoglycemic or diabetic, but I could feel like my blood sugar fluctuate in radical ways that really did not feel healthy. And I got my ass in gear, and I looked things up, and I was like, okay, there's all kinds of shit in our food, and they just sell it as food when really it's more like you are buying over-the-counter drugs when you go to the grocery store. It's kind of scary. Dr. Stephanie Seneff was one of the people that got my attention to some of this. Like when it comes to autism, I think it's some form of sulfur. There's like a percentage of autistic people that are tested that they're actually low in some form of sulfur that's supposed to be in your system. And she says that this is tied to glyphosate, because glyphosate binds to sulfur and other minerals in your body, and then when you piss out the glyphosate, your body gets rid of all those minerals, so your body doesn't actually have a chance to absorb some stuff because you're eating all this stuff with the glyphosate. This is one of the theories on what's going on in your body there. And also when you're eating, when it comes to putting any time you look on the back of the ingredients label on food and you're like, okay, what is this stuff in here? All right, well, this stuff, whatever's in here, I know the FDA has approved for whatever level is present of whatever chemicals, red 40 or dyes or fucking whatever the fuck shit on the back of the ingredients that you can't pronounce. You're like, oh, well, the FDA has said whatever levels in here, clearly they've approved it, right? But you don't know how long this stuff takes to get out of your system. So when it comes to the glyphosate and stuff, it's not like it's out of your body within a few hours or the next time that you piss and you've already processed the food. This stuff builds up in your body along with, the other things, the flavor additives, artificial flavors and colorings and all of that shit. These things take time to get out of your body. What's the one? Trisodium. There's something. I know it's in Trix cereal and different cereals. That's trisodium something. And they put this shit. It's a cleaner. It's an actual cleaner you can go buy at the store, but they put it in cereal. A lot of cereals have this in it. And the FDA says, okay, well, at this level, it's okay. But number one, who eats one serving of cereal or anything in American diet? It's big or go big or go home when it comes to servings. So you're getting more than what they've approved for one dose or one sitting, one serving. And then on top of that, it takes time to get out of your system. And this stuff is present in all of the food. So every time you eat, you're exposing yourself to more of this stuff and more of this stuff. You never have a chance for your body to just not to function without this stuff present in it. So anyway, these are some of the concerns that I'm hoping get addressed in the next 4 years. I'm praying.
An Adderall and 500,000 children on SSRIs. So what's causing this suffering? I'll name two culprits. The first and the worst is ultra-processed food.
I haven't watched this yet. I truly have not watched this yet. I know RFK. I know my boy. We're on the same wavelength. This is my guy.
70% of American children's diet is ultra-processed. That means industrial manufactured in a factory. These foods consist primarily of processed sugar, ultra-processed grains, and seed oils. Laboratory scientists who many of them formerly worked for the cigarette industry, which purchased all the big food companies.
Yes, fucking Philip Morris purchased like Kraft. The fucking tobacco companies purchased all the fucking food companies. You wonder why the food's so addictive, do you? You think it has anything to do with the tobacco companies buying the food companies? You can't fucking go without soda. You can't go a fucking week without soda or a fucking bag of Doritos, and you don't wonder why? Like, I wonder if that has something to do with them tobacco companies. I wonder.
1970s and 80s, deployed thousands of scientists to figure out new chemicals to make the food more addictive. And these ingredients didn't exist 100 years ago. Humans aren't biologically adapted to eat them. Hundreds of these chemicals are now banned in Europe, but ubiquitous in American processed foods.
Some of these chemicals, and I'm going to do some more research into this, but the addiction to the food stuff, I think this is almost like, I know MSG is one of the things because that makes you not aware how full you're getting. So you eat more. And if they just make the taste good enough and add the MSG, then you'll eat a shitload more. You buy more. But I think the artificial and the natural flavors too. If it says artificial flavors or natural flavors, that means it's some chemical concoction that they have intellectual rights to the point that they don't have to disclose what it is. They can just put on the container natural ingredients, artificial ingredients, or flavoring. When they say that, I'm telling you, this is one of the things I avoid, and it's difficult to find food that doesn't have fake flavoring added to it. You can't just use real vanilla or fucking real chocolate or whatever the fuck. They add these mystery flavorings to it. This is part of, I think, the tobacco companies having their hand in this. Anyway, I'll do a full episode on this. We'll get really down into the nitty gritty with this one of these days. I'm telling you guys.
The second culprit is toxic chemicals in our food, in our medicine, in our environment. Pesticides, food additives, pharmaceutical drugs, and toxic waste permeate every cell of our bodies. The assault on our children's cells and hormones is unrelenting. To name just one problem, many of these chemicals increase estrogen because young children are ingesting so many of these hormone disruptors. America's puberty rate is now occurring at age 10 to 13, which is 6 years earlier than girls were reaching puberty in 1900. Our country has the earliest puberty rates of any continent on the earth. And no, this isn't because of better nutrition. This is not normal. Breast cancer is also estrogen driven.
It's because they drank the milk. They drink a lot of milk over here.
And it now strikes 1 in 8 women. We are mass poisoning all of our children and our adults. Considering the grievous human cause of this tragic epidemic of chronic disease, it seems almost crass to mention the damage it does to our economy. But I'll say, it is crippling the nation's finances. When my uncle was president of our country, he spent $0 on chronic disease. Today, government healthcare spending is almost all for chronic disease. And it's double the military budget. And it is the fastest growing budget item in the federal budget.
Wow, I'm so surprised chronic disease is a growing problem, since we're selling all of these drugs these days, and the drugs, they work so well and they're so good for people, and so it's surprising we have all these diseases. Wow.
Chronic disease costs more to the economy as a whole, costs at least $4 trillion, 5 times our military budget. And that's a 20% drag on everything we do and everything we aspire to. Poor and minority communities suffer disproportionately. People who worry about DEI or about bigotry of any kind, this dwarfs anything. We are poisoning the poor. We are systematically poisoning minorities across this country. Industry lobbyists have made sure that most of the food stamp lunch program, about 70% of food stamps and about 70 or 77% of school lunches are processed foods. There's no vegetables. There's nothing that you would want to eat. We are just poisoning the poor citizens, and that's why they have the highest chronic disease burden of any demographic in our country, and the highest in the world. The same food industry lobbied to make sure that nearly all agricultural subsidies go to commodity crops that are the feedstock of processed food industry. These policies are destroying small farms, and they're destroying our soils. We give about, I think, 8 times as much in subsidies to tobacco than we do to fruits and vegetables. It makes no sense. If we want a healthy country, the good news is that we can change all this. We can change it very, very quickly. America can get healthy again. To do that, we need to do 3 things. First, we need to root out.
Bro, I love this. I love hearing him talk like this. I'm not saying there aren't some issues with some other shit that RFK has said. I hear people talk about that he's crazy climate change. I haven't entirely heard his position on climate change. I know he supposedly believes in it. That's what I've heard people say, fucking conservatives on Twitter. I know Alex Stein confronted him about climate change, and it was just a passing interaction and they didn't get to talk about it. So I don't even know his position on that. That's one of the main things I hear people complain about RFK. But I love hearing him talk like this. Can we get America healthy again? I don't fucking know. It's truly scares me when I go shopping and I'm like just looking for different food to eat, and I flip over the box and every ingredient list is just like shocking. Like, it's really that difficult to sell me plain old food without some weird shit that I have to go Google later. Is it really that fucking hard? It is. It is. Everything in the store is tainted with some fucking shit.
The corruption in our health agencies. Second, we need to change incentives in our healthcare system. And third,
how are we going to change the corruption? These people are just raking in money by selling them fucking poison and making them eat poison.
We need to inspire Americans to get healthy again. 80% of NIH grants go to people who have conflicts of interest. These are the people, virtually everybody who sits in Joe Biden just appointed a new panel to NIH to decide the food recommendations. And they're all people who are from the industry. They're all people who are from the processed food companies. They're deciding what Americans, here is healthy, and the recommendations on the food pyramid, and and what goes to our school lunch programs, what go to the program, the Swiss program.
Remember when the bottom, I think they've changed it recently, but remember, I think when I was younger, like 20 some, 30 maybe years ago, the bottom of the food pyramid was all carbs, and the very top was oil, fats. It's like, what the fuck? No, they weren't just trying to sell sugar to us, right? That's not what it was.
Food stamp programs, they're all corrupted and conflicted individuals. These agencies, the FDA, USDA, and CDC, all of them are controlled.
They used the bottom of the pyramid was like, eat bread. After you eat bread, then eat more bread, then have a cookie, then eat more bread, and then a bowl of Frosted Flakes, but sprinkle sugar on it because you need more sugar. And then when the milk is left over, you get a slice of bread and you soak that up with bread and then eat more bread.
By giant for-profit corporations. 75% of the FDA's funding doesn't come from taxpayer, it comes from pharma. And pharma executives and consultants and lobbyists cycle in.
And I'm probably starting and stopping too much. He's talking about the FDA funding. FDA funding used to be majority from taxpayers. Now they get most of their funding from the companies that are looking for FDA approval. That, my friends, is called a conflict of interest.
In and out of these agencies with President Trump's backing. I'm going to change that. We're going to staff these agencies with honest scientists and doctors who are free from industry funding. We're going to make sure the decisions of consumers, doctors, and patients are informed by unbiased science. A sick child is the best thing for the pharmaceutical industry. When American children or adults get sick with a chronic condition, they're put on medication for their entire life. Imagine what will happen when Medicare starts paying for those.
The pharmaceutical companies not wanting sick kids is like McDonald's not wanting people to be hungry. It is almost entirely that simple.
Ozempic, which costs $1,500 a month, and it's being recommended for children as young as 6, all for condition obesity that is completely preventable and barely even existed 100 years ago. And 74% of Americans are obese. The cost, if all of them took their Ozempic prescription, is $3 trillion a year. This is a drug that is made by Novo Nordisk, the biggest company in Europe. It's a Danish company, and the Danish government does not recommend it. It recommends change in diet to treat obesity and exercise. And in our country, the recommendation now is for Ozempic to children at age 6. Novo Nordisk, the biggest company in Europe, and virtually its entire value is based upon its projections of what...
We got to sell Oreos, bro. So just give them the Ozempic. We got to sell these Oreos. We've got shelves upon shelves of fucking Oreo cookies and fucking Pepsis. We got to sell them. And then we can sell Ozempic.
It's going to sell the Ozempic. It's going to sell to America. And we have the food lobbyists have a bill in front of Congress today that is backed by the White House, backed by Vice President Harris and President Biden to allow this to happen. This $3 trillion cost that is going to bankrupt our country. For a fraction of that amount, we could buy organic food for every American family, 3 meals a day, and eliminate diabetes altogether. We're going to bring healthy food back to school lunches. We're going to stop subsidizing the worst foods with our agricultural subsidies. We're going to get toxic chemicals out of our food. We're going to reform the entire food system. And for that, we need new leadership in Washington. Because unfortunately, both the Democrats and the Republican parties are in cahoots with the big food producers, Big Pharma and Big Ag, which are among the DNC's major donors. Vice President Harris has expressed no interest in...
Ooh, DNC's major donors, Big Pharma, Big Ag. Why does that not surprise me?
Pressing this issue. 4 more years of Democratic rule will complete the consolidation of corporate and neocon power. And our children will be the ones who suffer most. I got involved with chronic disease 20 years ago, not because I chose to or wanted to. It was essentially thrust upon me. It was an issue that should have been central to the environmental movement. I was a central leader at that time, but it was widely ignored by all the institutions, including the NGOs, who should have been protecting our kids against toxins. It was an orphan issue, and I had a weakness for orphans. I watched generations of children get sicker and sicker. I had 11 siblings, and I had 7 kids myself. I was conscious of what was happening in their classrooms and to their friends, and I watched these sick kids, these damaged kids. In that generation, almost all of them are damaged. And nobody in power seemed to care or to even notice. For 19 years, I prayed every morning that God would put me in a position to end this calamity.
With the TD Cash Credit Card, it's easy to change things up. Customize your cash back.
TD Bank, I will never do my banking with you.
The chronic disease.
He genuinely seems like he's like tearing up a little bit when he's trying to talk about, when he starts talking about the kids being so fucked up from the food and the drugs. He genuinely seems like he cares. That is quite refreshing.
This crisis was one of the primary reasons for my running for president, along with ending censorship in the Ukraine war. It's the reason I've made the heart-wrenching decision to suspend my campaign and to support President Trump. This decision is agonizing for me because of the difficulties it causes my wife and my children and my friends. But I have the certainty that this is what I'm meant to do. And that certainty gives me internal peace, even in storms. If I'm given the chance to fix the chronic disease crisis and reform our food production, I promise that within 2 years, we will watch chronic disease burden lift dramatically. We will make Americans healthy again. Within 4 years, America will be a healthy country. We will be stronger, more resilient, more optimistic, and happier. I won't fail in doing this. Ultimately, the future, however it happens, is in God's hands and in the hands of the American voters and those of President Trump. If President Trump is elected and honors his word, the vast burden of chronic disease that now demoralizes and bankrupts the country will disappear. This is a spiritual journey for me. I reached my decision through deep prayer, through hard-nosed logic, and I asked myself, what choices must I make to maximize my chances to save America's children and restore national health? I felt that if I refused this opportunity, I would not be able to look myself in the mirror, knowing that I could have saved lives of countless children and reversed this country's chronic disease epidemic. I'm 70 years old. I may have a decade to be effective. I can't imagine that President Harris would allow me or anyone to solve these dire problems. After 8 years of President Harris, any opportunity for me to fix the problem will be out of my reach forever. President Trump has told me that he wants this to be his legacy. I'm choosing to believe that this time he will follow through. His son, his biggest donors, his closest friends, and all support this objective. My joining the Trump campaign will be a difficult sacrifice for my wife and children, but worthwhile if there's even a small chance of saving these kids. Ultimately, the only thing that will save our country and our children is if we choose to love our kids more than we hate each other. That's why I launched my campaign to unify America. My dad and uncle made such an enduring mark on the character of our nation, not so much because of any particular policies that they promoted, but because they were able to inspire profound love for our country and to fortify our sense of ourselves as a national community held together by ideals. They were able to put their love into the intentions and hearts of ordinary Americans and to unify a national populist movement of Americans, blacks and whites, Hispanics, urban and rural Americans. They inspired affection and love and high hopes and a culture of kindness that continue to radiate among Americans from their memory. That's the spirit on which I ran my campaign and that I intend to bring into the campaign of President Trump. Instead of vitriol and polarization, I will appeal to the values that unite us, the goals that we could achieve if only we weren't at each other's throats. The most unifying theme for all Americans is that we all love our children. If we all unite around that issue now, we can finally give them the protection, the health, and the future that they deserve. Thank you all very much.
All right. Inspirational. That was incredible. Let's see. There was a clip of CNN, I guess, right when let me see if I can pull this up real quick. I think I had it. Did I repost this on Twitter? Let me see real quick. Or did I okay. Oh fuck. Let me screen share this real quick. This is CNN cutting away when fucking RFK Jr. started to say something they didn't like. He was telling too much of the truth. Media Corporation about to endorse President Trump. Okay.
On their capacity to go toe-to-toe with any opponent in the battle.
Hold on, we'll start.
My uncle and my father both relished debate. They prided themselves on their capacity to go toe-to-toe with any opponent in the battle over ideas. They would be astonished to learn of a Democratic Party presidential nominee who, like Vice President Harris, has not appeared in a single interview or an unscripted encounter with voters for 35 days.
We've been listening to independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. from Phoenix.
Cut it. Cut the feed. Oh, fuck, bro. That is funny. Yeah, I guess CNN is still very much shilling, simping for fucking Kamala. They cut that feed real quick. All right, guys. Well, I've got a hot date for tonight. So I'm gonna leave you all to your own bidding here. Go look some stuff up about glyphosate and whatnot. Go look up what's in the food. I'm telling you, it's scary. Is Fat Pig in here? Do I need to play his song for my outro? All right. Well, yeah, thank you guys for checking out the stream. Anybody that's new here, whatever, please give me a follow, subscribe, whatever, and repost my stuff, please. Grinding here. Of course, I got, as you know, parody songs and stuff on my page too. They seem to do a little better on Twitter because they don't get hit with the copyright infringement and don't get censored there. So yes, please follow me on Twitter, Instagram. I'm Dark Match Steve everywhere. Please subscribe and like my stuff. Help me get into a better algorithm here, because the struggle is real. The struggle's real on these streets. All right, so it's the weekend, motherfuckers. I won't be back on probably until Monday. I might do ice bath on Sunday, which I streamed my last one, and you got to watch me squirm and scream. So anyway, I might do that on Sunday. I might just pop on for a little ice bath and cold plunge deal. But besides that, I will be back on Monday at 8 p.m. or 7:30-ish as usual. I usually go on at 8 because I like to watch Alex Stein's show, but he isn't on until Tuesday, I think. So yeah, Monday I might be on 7:30. Either way, come back, check out the channel. I'll always be on here streaming some fucking bullshit. So anyway, thanks again for checking out the show. Please give me your support. I fucking need it. And I will see you later. It's been a great time. It's been Dark Times with Dark Match Steve. That's the name of this program here. Hope you enjoyed it. Oh wait, who's up in the chat? Airplane Willie. Thanks for being on, DMS. Subscribe and hit the bell. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Love you too, fam. All right, guys. I will catch you later. Have a good weekend. Thank you. And good night.